So for the context, I'm teaching grade 6 students and this is our introduction for statistic class. So previously, I connected with the previous class, which is you learn about the how to create graphs and also about proportional. So you guys already learned about that. Okay, good morning boys and girls. Oh, there's no boys. So today,
Only one.
oh, only one, sorry. So today we're going to learn about statistics. So from our previous class before, okay, let's have a question first. So as we attend our chapel this morning, do you identify or do you see or heard about a question that talks about statistics?
Yes.
Yes. So what example of question that our Pa James mentioned a while ago?
It's talking about like how many percent of people feel like they know that they're going to have 100%.
Okay. Do you guys agree or disagree? You guys all heard that. So that's why do you think that question is a statistical question?
Because there's data, like you have to ask people their opinion first, and then you would put it in numbers, and then maybe you put it in a graph.
Okay. That's good. Thanks, Jocelyn. So before we start, I want to ask a question to everyone. Do you guys have your favorite book? Because I know you guys are been reading for our English class as well. So what is your favorite book? Sherry, do you have any favorite book? Yeah. Bible? Dorcas, what is your favorite book? Harry Potter. Grace, what is your favorite book?
Flat Stanley.
Flat Stanley. Mimi, what is your favorite book?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Cyril, what's your favorite book? Let's give her time.
Yeah, Bible as well.
Bible as well. Now you can see all the answers are different. Why do you think we all have different answers when we answer the question, what is our favorite book? Joy, what do you think why we have different answers? You want to call a friend? Okay, let's give her time. How about Lupita? Why do you think we all have different answers?
Because we have different preferences.
Preference. We have different preference. That's right. So, as you can see, while we're answering those questions, we can see how God created everyone. So, we answer those questions and reveals our image as well and how we are different from each other. So, God created us very unique because Sherry loves Bible, Grace loves that type of book, and Mimi loves that type of book. So, we are all different. So, now, we're going to learn how to make statistical questions because in our previous classes, you all learn about making graph, making data, but we don't learn how we create the question. But now, we're going to learn that. And we also learn about ratios and proportionality, which connects with the meaning of statistics. Can you all read the meaning of statistics? 1, 2, 3, go!
Practice or science of collecting and analyzing numerical data in large quantities, especially for the purpose of inferring proportions in a whole corpus.
Okay, so I'll ask question because last time, Miss Grace, from your last unit in this class, you all learned about proportionality. So when we say that statistical questions in inferring proportion, how do you explain what is proportion? Felicia, what do you think? What is proportion? Okay, let's give her time. Neta, what do you think? What is proportion? It's the balance. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? Agree? Why do you agree with that, Grace?
Because Miss Grace told us, Miss Grace and Miss Leslie told us that
Oh, yeah.
Because we call something good when it's proportional. So what's good is when something is balanced, it's good. So it kind of like I don't know, it's just balanced proportions.
Okay, thanks, Grace. So, and with that, we're gonna move on to our learning goal for today. Can we all read? 1, 2, 3, go!
I will be able to learn and identify and create statistical questions.
So now, last time, Miss Jasmine mentioned to us how to create graphs and line plots, and she provided us the question. But right now, how can we come up with those questions? So we're gonna learn about that. But before that, we all need to learn about the vocabularies of what are we going to learn about the statistics. So these are the vocabulary that you should know. But because this is our introduction, I will give you the definition. Can you guys read first? Variable.
The differences or diversity in data, statistical questions involve variability.
Okay, next one.
Data, information collected to answer a question.
Next one.
Survey, a method for collecting data by asking questions to a group of people.
Last one.
Response, the answer or outcome provided for a given question.
Okay. So let's think about that while we're doing our activities for today. So first, I will have here an example, and you need to tell me, then you need to explain to me what is the statistical question here and what is not, and explain to me why. Wait, I'm gonna write it first, sorry. Okay. Now, while we're reading these two questions, I want you also to maybe look at your math box in front of you. So I provided how you will start your sentences in explaining these two statistical questions. And also, I'm encouraging everyone to use this vocabularies if it's possible for you to use in explaining. So while looking at these two questions, I'll give you time. Don't worry. So here, identify first what is the statistical question and what is not, and explain it to me why it's not and why it is. Okay, I'll give you time. If you want to be discussed by yourself, it's fine. But if you want to discuss with your friends, it's okay. So yeah, you can move if you want. Okay, your discussion starts now. Yeah, you can use that. The math box is just guidance for you guys how to start with the discussion. So it's not necessary that it should be the same. Okay, start discussing.
What is your allowance and your export? How do you select what you already get? What's your allowance? Like preparing them, how you preparing the skill to do this activity? Actually, this is the huh? This is the one. But it's not you put it here. Is this here?
Oh no, this one is their work. This one is just our discussing and identify. And this one is based in our work.
Still, this like identify it's already an activity.
Yeah.
But you don't have your lab.
Because I make this one as a discussion first, and then they will answer the worksheet and other practices on how they want to reflect the questions. And then I
Because you already teaching because your objective is already here.
Thank you. Okay. Now let's have Ense. What do you think in these two questions is the statistical question and what is not? Explain it why.
First is not
First is not.
because it just has one handle with me. So the second, yes, it is because it has process of clarification.
Okay. Good. How about Jocelyn?
So we think the first one, maybe it's not a statistical question because it's asking assigned like to one person and like specifically, and if you see like the variables and the responses, it's going to be like a lot and it's maybe unpredictable, and you have to really make this like long graph because you have to put everything that they said. But if you actually make the genres your choice, it's better because the survey is easier, you can do the survey faster, and the response is also easy to take note of.
Okay, thanks, Justin. So that's actually right. So the first one is just asking a direct question, so you will have maybe one answer with that. But for question number 2, it requires us to search a large group of people or maybe long research if we will answer this question number 2. So right now, I will give you a practice worksheet and how will we, in this question, have this one. So our problem task would be the school library is adding new books and the librarian wants to know what books to choose. How can you help her decide? But right now, I will have your worksheet. Can Joy help me to distribute it? So in your worksheet, you will identify if it's a statistical question or not and explain it individually. So no discussion for this time. I'll give you,
Can you go back first? Based on your discussion, create the criteria. Go back on. Like based on your discussion, put the criteria. So they will do the activity based on the criteria you have discussed. So discuss first, before you do this activity, discuss first what is the criteria to choose which one is statistic question or which not, based on your discussion.
where's the,
Don't discuss first. Don't do this first. Discuss first.
okay, thank you, Ibu. So before we start our worksheet, and we already discussed what is statistical questions, let's come up with a criteria of what makes statistical, what makes a question statistical. So, Julie, what do you think, what makes the question statistical based on our discussion? Give me one criteria that it should have, there should be this in the question.
The fact that the question bucket can be represented, right, as your answers.
Okay, can we represent? Okay, thank you. How about Mini? Yeah.
It needs to like ask for quantity.
Ask for quantity. More? How about Jocelyn?
Giving a specific audience or
Specific audience. Okay, last one. Is there any criteria you need to add? Are you now agree with this criteria?
Discuss first. Is it working or not?
Do you think this criteria will work as we assess as a question, that it will make it statistical? Agree or disagree? Okay.
For example, if I ask for quantity, how many clothes do you have? Do you think is statistic or not?
Okay. So when we're asking for the quantity, is that enough for us to think of statistical question, or do we need to add more criteria for that? Okay, Jasmine, do you have any insight?
So I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the variable should be like asking maybe type or specific variable. And for example, for number 2 question, it's asking the gender. I don't know if you're
So you're saying that if we're making statistical question, we're already thinking of probability of what will happen or what will be the response. Is that okay? So there's a planned response. Quantity like maybe 2 or more responses. What do you think?
So, I mean, like, because if you compare it, like, what is your favorite book? If you look at it, like, the plan response will be a lot, right? It's
Yeah.
too broad.
Mm.
But for the second one, because you already start to think people have different types,
Yeah.
but what can we make it more group group or something? I don't know what is it called? Like specific. Specific variable.
So here, when we look in our questions, can you tell me what is 2 variables here? Here. Genre. What more? Yeah, students in our class, correct? So, these 2 variable in this question makes our answer more specific into 2 responses. So, maybe you will still receive a lot of genres, but you will just receive genres, not like title of book, right? And student in our class, you're not going to ask question in other classes, you will just ask inside our class. So that's right. So we have 2 variables. Okay. Now, are you guys agree with this criteria?
Yes.
Alright. So now when you're doing your first activity in identifying, I will just give you 5 minutes with that because you will have another practice in creating statistical question about our problem task. In case you forgot, to help you as a guide, we will have here the criteria based on our discussion. So it will help you to identify if it's statistical question or not. It should be here. Okay, 1 minute.
So when you discuss this criteria, you use this, you do that.
we're done. Okay. 12, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, we're going to move after we identify the statistical question and non-statistical question with this criteria right here. And you can also the example questions from there. It can help you to create your own statistical question based on our problem task. So can Cyril help me to distribute the paper? Thank you. Thank you, Cyril. Okay. I'll give you 10 minutes to do the second part. To help you as well, the first part of our activity, it can help you if you identify the statistical question there, so you can just use that and maybe change a little bit. So, the first part of our activity is actually helpful.
But we don't know what is correct or not, Miss, from first activity. So how we can choose which one is not? How about if I choose the wrong one?
Then it will be wrong. So,
So what you should do to make sure that the second activity is correct?
discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, before you continue your second activity, all eyes up here. Alright? Thanks, guys. So, we're going to discuss our first activity. So, number 1. How many books do you read in a year? Do you think this is a statistical question or not?
No.
Why? Why do you think?
I feel like it's yes. Yes. No. It can be.
You can use, why do you agree and disagree, Mimi?
Can I explain? I think it's possible because
You can use, yeah, you can start your sentence with I agree or I disagree.
I agree.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
I
Why?
think that it's statistical because it can compare each year that I read. For example,
Use the criteria, remember?
year. Not this year. Sorry, didn't read it properly.
So, Jocelyn, do you want to answer?
Yeah. I see like in a year, so it's only like one quantity. It's like you're just calculating how many books. And it's like no specific audience is you. And yeah.
Do you guys agree with that or disagree?
Agree.
Hey, correct. So, number 2. What is your favorite book? Cyril, do you think is this a statistical question or not?
No,
Why do you think so?
because it's very disagree. I disagree with number 2 because I think the question is very broad. There's no specific variable, and then the audience as well. Like it's just direct. It's a direct question, and I add like it's not even a question type for asking data. It's just simply asking a question.
Just we can ask differently when you say what is your favorite book, and that is so broad. Correct? About number 3, Dorcas. How many students in this class have read more than 5 books this year? Is that statistical or not? Number 3. Why do you think this is a statistical question? There are 2 variables. This year. Okay. Do you guys agree with Dorcas?
Yes.
Disagree with it? Why?
Because again, it's only like one data point. You're just calculating. Like you ask everyone, and they're like, how many students in this class? So if there's only 7 students in this class who have read more than 5 books this year, then that's it. That's the data. Because when you make the graph, I don't think you do like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%.
It should be.
It should be
Yeah.
just one.
Do you guys agree with Jocelyn or disagree?
This, I'm going to guess statistical.
What you think it's statistical?
This question is kind of confusing. Because I feel like, wait, number 3, right?
Number 3.
Yeah. How many students in this class? So the response or they have specific audience, which is students in this class, right?
Yeah.
But then the variable can be also because read more than 5 books.
Okay,
So-
I will give you a question. What if in this class there's no person or student read books that more than 5?
That's it. You don't have to.
Zero data. So that's also what we should think when we're making statistical questions. Like what we have said here, that there's a planned response. So if you know that your samples or in the class that didn't read more than 5 books, then why are you gonna ask how many students read more than 5 books? You will not have a sample or you will not have collected data.
How about if it's all of them read more than 5?
Then yes, we can create the statistical this research. We can use this one.
So it's mean yes and no?
Yeah, actually you can explain it here. You can explain why is it statistical or not because it depends on the sample.
So
or
this
the,
one is not depends. For example, if I can gather more than 5, but it will create how I create the data if it's more than 5. So only yes, no, yes, no. And how many is only one number, 5 people. Done? So if it's the answer, how many people? It's 5 people and then done. Do you need data for that? So that's the reason is not because of less than 5. It should be other reason why more than 5, it's only giving one answer. One answer will create a statistic or not. So it should be like that.
Good you. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Next. So number 3, we come up. What do you think number 3 is? Non-statistical. Okay, correct. So number 4, how many books are available in our school library?
Non-statistical.
Okay, Justin, why do you think it's non-statistical?
Because again, it only gives us one answer. Because statistics is like comparing different answers.
Yes, correct. Okay, number 5. What genres of books do students in our class prefer? Statisticals. Somehow here. Number 6. How many books do students in grade 6 borrow from the library each month?
Statistical.
Correct. Number 7. How many students have a favorite book that is in the fantasy genre?
Non-statistical.
Grace, why do you think it's non-statistical?
How about number 6?
How many students?
Statistic, right?
Yeah.
It only requires one answer. So if we have only 5 students who has a favorite book
No? 8 level.
in fantasy numbers, then that's it.
Yeah. Agree. Do you guys agree with Grace or disagree? Okay. Number 8, last one. What is your favorite genre of book? Why do you think it's non-statistical, Joy? Yeah, correct. So now, we already assessed the non-statistical and statistical question, and we also realized the questions are what is statistical or not. We can create now our 3 statistical questions. So, continue working your part 2, creating statistical questions.
What data will be collected?
Like,
These can be discussed.
yeah, you can discuss, but you will work individually. You can maybe ask to your no, like the variable.
Is this for all students in the school?
You can pick it if you want to focus more on that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, let's have it. And when you ask about that, what do you think that they will do? So here, so when you ask what is your favorite, what is the student's favorite genre, you will get a lot of data collected because you only have one question or one part of the class. So maybe you can add more to that, so it will have like concise or specific responses. Just because when I ask,
So can you also do this materials?
no, cannot. You need somehow to how will you compose confirm and construct the sentence? What is your favorite? In the class. Okay. And then that's all. Yeah. I mean, you're getting data from type of genre. It's like that one. What genres of books you student in a class prefer? So your yeah, there's 2 variables on it. So you're just asking of the other class. So you're not asking in other classes. And you're asking about their favorite.
This is a very so score.
Actually, when you're conducting a survey, you're asking smaller. So you can help the librarian to read Six more minutes. Still need you guys some more time. Yes. Good. Do you think you will receive take home with
Good.
answer your own question. So you're just getting three top three channels. You want to know their Okay. I think everyone has got. Okay. So now we're going to discuss, and we're going to discuss your answers with your part 2.
We only have one.
Hmm? One question left.
Only one more.
One question. What?
We only answer
Have
one.
one motion.
It's okay. Just pretend you answer everything because you don't have to. Okay. All right. So in our part 2, can I ask someone what is her first, or what did she make? Just pick one from your statistical question and explain to me why is it a statistical question using our criteria and also the vocabulary. Jasmine, what's yours?
What subject of textbook do students in junior high school of tomorrow?
Okay.
So, okay.
Can you make it loud?
What subject of textbook do students in junior high school of tomorrow? What data would you collect the subject of the textbooks? And this is statistical question because there is specific audience and there's 2 variables and there's a specific category which is the subject and it will be compared.
Okay, great. How about Julie? Can you give me one of your you created statistical question?
What genre the student borrows from the library next?
What genre? Okay, sorry again.
What genre that the student borrows from the library next? Which kind of has most of the students or
What genre the type of students borrow
the most?
the most?
The most. I mean, like the data is like what kind of genre that the student borrow usually.
I'll ask you a question.
Questions.
Yeah, I'll ask you a question. What are you looking, what type of, like, is it all students or just specific grade of students? So I think we need to somehow revise that to make it more specific. Thanks, Judy. So maybe one more. Ask Jocelyn, can you share your one example of statistical question?
What lengths, and then give an option like 100 pages, 200 pages, or 250 plus pages. For junior school students usually. And then like the how many students read for each like
Great. So can you guys give yourself one clap? So now we finish our learning goal today to identify statistical question and able to create statistical question, and to you guys to think of as in your homework, because we're gonna have our science exhibition. In your science exhibition, I want you to think of specific statistical question that you will create for your exhibition, for that topic of exhibition. So now that we finished, I want to share that this is how beautiful, to share to everyone that how God is good in making everything. Because without giving these things around us, we will not be able to create it.
Okay.
Thank you.
think I printed the wrong one because it's rough. So it's my
Thank you,
fault.
Lampita.